In these troubled times, it is challenging to stand here and speak words that touch our heartbreak, words that are real, that allow us to be open and honest and genuinely present to our experience of anguish and pain, and dare to suggest there's more than only this, as if to rescue or save us from our experience, provide salve or solution, some way out of our bewildered, not knowing what to do, how to understand, what to think, to relieve us of our not knowing. Yet this is the seat of our beginning. Not knowing is the place we find ourselves. From this place, we can open ourselves to grow in understanding. Quite how have we ended up in a world expressing itself as it is? One of the effects of COVID was that the thread of our understanding and our assumptions of life, the very structure that enabled us to negotiate life, became loosened. Nothing was as it had been. As we engage in life post-COVID, or should I say living with COVID differently, that loosened thread seems to have unravelled something that was previously fundamental. Ideals of common good, mutual aid, dignity and respect of the other seem to have become optional, and loudly so in the public square. They no longer seem foundational to the fabric of our human relating. Such shift coincided with the surge in the development and normalising of what we call virtual reality, that wonderful platform that virtually exists. It was perhaps accelerated by the isolation of COVID. The shift to online everything, easy access to any and everything from the comfort of your home, unfiltered access to information that became aligned to your preferences, the rise of the keyboard warrior, the influence of the unknown, anonymised expert. The net effect of instant and easy connection that requires no physical contact exacerbates isolation and our sense of being separate from one another. What has this got to do with Matariki, you might be wondering? Matariki, the rising constellation of stars, visible at this time in these southern climes. As we pay attention to it, we learn of traditions associated with its rising. We could see taking time for Matariki as a gift in this period of our history where increasingly our relating to one another and the world is a virtual experience, is distanced, is less physically grounded. When availability to up-to-the-date news feeds threatens to ensnare and entangle and overwhelm us, what Matariki does is it calls us to remember the ways that we humans have lived and been. It reconnects us with the natural rhythm and cycle of the physical world, the steady turn of the seasons. It returns us to the physical world we see and know. The Book of Wisdom, that first reading, speaks of this. Through the gift of wisdom, we have come to understand what we perceive. We have learned and organised our experience of the natural world so to make sense of it. We have learned our place. We learn to align ourselves to the whole of which we are a part. Returned to such awareness at Matariki, the transitory nature of our existence, of our participation in the turning of life and death, are spoken. The opportunity we have to live into the richness of creation, the source and sustenance of our lives. Matariki rises at a pivot time of the year in the southern climes as we tip from shortest day darkness to the promise of lengthening light. It is a time for looking back with thanksgiving, acknowledging all we have received from those gone before us, gladness rimmed with sadness for those no longer with us, awareness of now, our place, and our part in receiving and tending the gifts bestowed us for those who are yet to come, looking, hoping forward, living aware that the ground we prepare now will be that our ancestors who are yet to be will live on. Whether we are conscious of this or not, most of the time, it is the way things are. Life is transitory, it is in constant flux, and is ever more precious for being so. The words from wisdom and the gospel and the traditions of Matariki remind us of what we know. We have learned the rhythm and the pattern of this planet. If we are wise, we will allow such knowledge to indwell us, to inform and direct how we live. Or, though we have learned these things, we may forget, turn from them to our own thinking, create and generate worlds and ways of thinking that may be brilliant, but are disconnected from the earthy grounding of our existence. Blessed we are by the miracle of smartphones, by the miracle of smart watches, of computers that are smaller and faster, of AI for speed and efficiency, so we don't have to think as much and we can do more. But have you noticed how such amazing devices have come to control us? Note the stature of the modern human. You know, that thing where we're wandering around, peering at our hand, our eyes are focused, our head is down, our mind is completely absorbed. People are known to speak out loud in public randomly, in totally justifiable way that doesn't require medication. That we know of. Occasionally there's that twist and tap of wrist, phone to wrist, phone to wrist. Such devices have become our world. We look to them to gain knowledge. We look to them to be informed, to connect and validate our existence, to be in relationship, though we may never have felt so lonely. By contrast, Matariki asks something different of us. It asks us to step into the physical experience in real time, outside, into darkness or semi-darkness. It invites us to stand up straight, to pull our shoulders back so we can look skyward. And as we do so, our chests are open and we breathe deeply of the natural air. As we cast our eyes skyward, we experience the physical world around us, the scale of things, our small relativeness in all that is, the spin of life that continues, oblivious to our transitory magnificence. How we live matters. Our frustration and our anger at all that is taking place, the injustice and the suffering, the misuse and the abuse. It is important to be able to name those things in a place like this and know it is heard. These walls, they have held in their embrace those who have witnessed the worst that humans can do and the best and all that lies between. They hold us now in these times, just as we can hold each other. But can we hold one another and resist the temptation to stay ensnared in the impossibility of things over which we have no control? stuck in the place of catastrophe. Because I fear if we cannot see beyond that, we may inadvertently end up participating in the prevailing culture against which we would stand as victims. We don't know what to do to change things, and it is overwhelming. Are we able to shorten that to say simply, we don't know? It might allow us to rest a little. It might allow us to lay our burden down, and it might open each of us up, each of us to see and understand something differently, other than our always thinking ways and the habits we have. In this transitory life, we only have the choice we make in each moment. And we can only choose from the wisdom and the knowledge we open ourselves to. If we are attentive to our choosing, it helps us to notice the trajectory of our choices and to learn from this. I want to leave you with a story from the Cherokee tradition. It may be familiar to some of you. An old grandfather whose grandchild came to him with anger at a friend who had done an injustice said, "Let me tell you a story. I too, at times, have felt a great hate for those who have taken so much with no sorrow for what they do. But hate wears you down and does not hurt your enemy. It is like taking poison and wishing your enemy would die. I have struggled with these feelings many times." He continued, "It is as if there are two wolves inside me. One is good and does no harm. He lives in harmony with all around and does not take offense where no offense was intended. He will only fight when it is right to do so and in the right way. But the other wolf, he is full of anger. The littlest thing will set him into a fit of temper. He fights everyone all the time for no reason. He cannot think because his anger and his hate are so great. It is hard to live with these two wolves inside me, for both of them try to dominate my spirit." The boy looked intently into his grandfather's eyes and asked, "Which one wins, grandfather?" The grandfather solemnly said, "The one I feed. The one I feed."